Hey everyone, Bill Parish here, and welcome to the channel today. I hope you're all staying safe and are healthy. The last couple of weeks, we went out on the road. And what I want to do is highlight 3 systems that we heard, or tweaked, or installed. The first one was we installed something in that system. You're going to have to watch to find out, and it made that system more special. And then the second stop was an entirely new system, and the third stop was we stopped in on an industry veteran. So watch the channel and let us know what you think. And the first road trip I'm going to tell you about that occurred about 2 weeks ago was a few hours south of New Jersey to a great audiophile and friend. He and his wife, she's not pictured, but he is, giving the big thumbs up of approval. Actually, I was on the other side giving the thumbs up because I approve of this system. He's got the YG, a Not 2 signatures, which actually that is just the skin. They've been totally upgraded to the Sonya 1.2 level. He's got a pair of AudioNet Max amplifiers. That's one of only 2 pair ever to make it into the US with black faceplates. The SVS subwoofers. You see some Kabbalah Sosna, Fascination speaker cable laying all over the floor. 100% of the system is Kabbalah Sosna. It's a little bit of a mix and match. He's even got, I believe he has a realization cable in there. So there's realization, and there's elation, and there's emotion and fascination, and that's expression that you see there in that gray. But this guy is a die-hard audiophile, one of the most enthusiastic ones I've ever met. He's up at 5 a.m., 4 a.m., listening to music. When I go on road trips and I'm driving at that time, I know I can always give him a call and get a great audio story. So really, really cool. The main reason I went down there was the MySonic Labs Signature Gold phono cartridge. Installed that on this turntable, and fellas, this is phenomenal. Wait until, it's kind of a big surprise. Wait until you see the turntable that we put this cartridge on. This is one of the best cartridges out there today. It's the MySonic Labs also builds the airtight cartridges, which are quite famous, and now they're building their own cartridges. They're getting a big name for themselves. The Signature Gold is one down from the top, but you would never know it. You truly need to strap in to listen to this one before you drop that needle, because it is dynamic. It is full of resolution. It is full of weight and body. When he was playing this, before it was even broken in, those subwoofers were moving. And it was just absolute killer sound in there. We had a lot of fun. Analog definitely rules in this setup. So there he is at the front end, and I told you we'd have a surprise for you on what table we mounted that. That is an EAT turntable. Sort of an inexpensive turntable, especially compared to the cartridge, which I believe the cartridge retails for about 3 times the table and the arm combo. But you would never know it. It sounded phenomenal. And look at that, down there right underneath him is, to the right of the main stand, is the power supply, an external power supply for the EAT turntable. So it's souped up, but very low noise, and I already told you how that cartridge sounded. It was incredible. And then the surrounding cast of equipment. That cartridge is directly feeding the AudioNet PAM G2 phono stage, and that is being powered by the EPX power supply. And this is some of the best phonos. This is the best phono stage you can get out there. AudioNet makes, I think, 6 different iterations of the PAM G2, and this is top of the heap. Then we have the pre-G2 below that, world-class line stage, one of the lowest natural output impedances on the market. That's acting as the steering wheel and the gas pedal for this system. And then below it is the Shit Audio flagship PCM DAC. The sound was great. And now to the second stop that we made. We went out to the Midwest, had my good buddy Dick Diamond of YG Acoustics show up. You see him standing there with the client, and this was just a really nice system that we put together. By the time we left, it was sounding absolutely phenomenal. I was very proud of this system. The client went out and got a Timber Nation audio rack, as you see there in the middle, and what you have sitting on top of that is the AudioNet Humboldt. That's the first one in black in the U.S. And that baby, it sings. That is part of the Ultimate series. We just had the Stern and the Heisenberg reviewed in the Absolute Sound. This is part of that series. This absolutely sounds like it's part of that series. You're just not getting a better integrated amp preamp combo on the market today in one box than a AudioNet Humboldt. In fact, it'd be hard to find separates that can do what this does. So that's the preamp amp section right there in that box. Uses the same box as the Stern. That's the same chassis that's sitting down at the Smithsonian. It's won all sorts of design awards, but designed by Harmut Esslinger. And down below, you see on the left-hand side, there is the Orlik Aries G2. We're using that as the digital transport and the Roon endpoint. We're running Roon throughout the system. And another section of the house, he's got the nucleus with the hard drive. He'll be adding a external power supply on that. Over to the right, the Mola Mola Tambiki DAC. We've talked about that many times. You know what that is if you're following this channel. For those that don't, up the Quad DSD does the DXD, a Bruno Putzi's designed unit. And that's just one. And then we have the YG Acoustics Sonia 2.2s. You see them there. These are full range speakers, flat out from 50K to 20K, or from 20 to 50K. Full range, really performed well. I was lucky enough to get into the photo there. It's usually I'm the one taking the picture, but we had Dick there, so he was able to snap a photo of us. And then this system from top to bottom was wired with Kabbalah Sosna cables, realization speaker cables, USB cable, interconnect cable, and then sensation speaker cables. When Dick and I left, that we were so proud of this system. It sounded so good. We were just absolutely blown away. Super sounding system. The client should be extremely proud, as we are very, very proud. So I left that install and I headed on over to Goshen, Indiana to drop in and visit the audio analyst, also known as Mr. Greg Weaver. Industry veteran reviewer, has his own YouTube channel, The Audio Analyst, and he's been pumping them out weekly. Seems like every Sunday he's got a new video coming out. Well, so I had seen him on a Thursday. That Wednesday, he received his new Von Schweikert Ultra 9 loudspeakers, as you can see in the picture. They had some time on them, and they sounded like they had time on them. Greg had them. I'm sure they sound better now after they've settled in from their journey from California, but they were sounding fantastic. Hooked up with the AudioNet Max amps. We'll show you the front end in just a minute here. But you've got a super tweeter, a beryllium, which is a ribbon, a beryllium tweeter. I think that's a 7-inch Accuton driver with a couple of 10-inch Accutons. You've got a powered subwoofer bass module behind. You can adjust the tweeter, the super tweeter levels through the back, and then on top of that, there's an ambient tweeter array that you can adjust as well. But first, let me just tell you that this system, I was literally blown away that these speakers had less than 24 hours on them when I heard them less than 24 hours on them after the journey to Greg's house. They totally disappeared. These massive speakers in this room were non-existent. All the drivers gelled together. It was completely seamless integration. There seemed to be no ceiling or compression on the sound. The dynamics were off the chart. The crescendos scaled like life. He played that Beethoven for me, the last movement, Beethoven's Ninth, the mobile fidelity that I've covered before, that he's covered. He did a whole episode on that record, and if you haven't seen it, you should check it out over at the Audio Analyst YouTube channel. It's the people. When Greg talks about components, listen, because he's got a damn good system. And it sounds good. I mean, yes, he's got damn good components, and a lot of the components I represent. So, am I going to be a little biased? Yeah, I think the products are great. That's why I carry them. But he's got the synergy going as well. He's got the speakers in the right place in the room. He's got a good cable mix there. I think it was a mix between Masterbuilt cables and I think he had one audience in there. But the sound was really, really good. And we just had a super fun evening listening to music. Here's the back of the speaker, and you'll see there's a big woofer down below. That's a subwoofer. You've got level controls for that. Then you've got the ambient tweeter array with the super tweeter and a hard dome tweeter behind. You can control that individually. You control the woofers. You can control the tweeter on the front of the speaker and the super tweeter. All individual controls. Here's a better look at the controls. So there you can see it. Hopefully you can see that on your screen. It says tweeter array, super tweeter, and the ambient array, which is the rears. And then you can also, with the smaller dials, control the output of that woofer. What Greg was able to achieve, now I know he had previously had them in there under review, so I guess he hopefully took pictures of it, because he had this thing, nailed down. I don't know how he did it so quick. It was really good sound. Speakers disappearing, wall to wall, floor to ceiling, front to back. I keep saying it, but this system had it all. And it's great to go out and hear a reviewer system and be blown away. There's his front end, and in his front end you see the Kronos Sparta on top, and over to on the top on the right you've got the Kronos SS CPS power supply. Right below that unit, right below the Kronos turntable unit, you got the Pre-G2 from AudioNet. That's the world-class line stage. He's using a DSA phono stage. I could not complain at all about the sound of the analog. Greg's reviewed it very well, and I'd love to get one of those in here and hear it because it sounds quite good at his place. And there at the very bottom is the Mola Mola Tambiki DAC, which he has under review, and that hopefully that review is coming out soon. He's got a McCormick CD player down below I think he uses just for break-in. He's really an analog guy, but the Mola sounds like analog. So he's running Rune. You can see his computer set up over there on the left, and he's running Rune into that. And we did play some digital, and it was sounding very, very good. I want to give you a full picture and scale of what Greg's room actually looks like. And here you go. This is it. He's got some sound treatment on the sides to address the first reflection point. But you can see a single listening chair. Well, actually, there is a second listening chair behind that one. So rather than side to side, in front and back. And moving back, you still get great sound. It's just more like you're further back in the orchestra. So, again, wonderful evening. Not many times do we get to go out and visit reviewers if we're not dropping off equipment and really, sort of working your butt off. And by the time you sit down, rather than listening, you're more concerned about catching your breath and resting. So, especially with the staircase that Greg has, which he's documented the movement of these speakers on, I believe it was on his Facebook page. But this was purely a social visit and to break up my drive on the way back with the corona out there. I didn't want to get on a plane. Where I was going was only 11 and a half hours away, so I drove it, and stopping in Goshen, Indiana was a nice breakup on the return home. So thank you, Greg, and people check out his channel as well. So the last thing I want to show you is our room. Sort of tease you a little bit here. I'm sure you're familiar with our room. This is the studio where you enter, also known as my office. And if you're looking, you see something new in there. Those blue babies right in the middle. You can come in to GTT Audio and demo something. We're appointment only. And when you demo it, the next day or an hour later, something could be changed. It's, whereas we do operate on appointment only and do demonstrations, but we do that for several reasons. One of the most important is to be able to cater to you in the system that you want to hear. And so, we do have multiple speakers that are slid in and out. We have different electronics. We move things from room to room. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that you always don't get to see or even realize. But these speakers, if you're cued in here to the audiophile scene, you should know these speakers. These speakers were on the front cover of Stereophile this month. Or they are on the front cover of Stereophile this month. Michael Fremer reviewed them, and this is the exact same pair. Michael's in New Jersey, we're in New Jersey, and we went up there and picked them up and got him out of his space, and now they're making home here at GTT Audio. And this is just a little teaser showing you that we've got them. Right now they're up on sliders. We're going to slide the YGs out and stick them in and play with them for a while, and we'll be swapping in and out in this room with the YG Sonya 2.2s and the Von Schweikert Ultra 55s. Well, hopefully that was as fun for you as it was for me, reliving the last 2 weeks of my life. You got to see 3 incredible systems, a little teaser on what's going on at GTT Audio. So to me, that's a lot of fun. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below. I'll be sure to get back to you, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.